72 degrees and very sunny. No better day to spend some time outdoors, making some coffee, and this time with my Rolex Explorer 36mm. Having a cup of coffee outside is twice as nice as sitting indoors. I prefer dark roast beans because it has the most flavor, and I grind my own beans, and it tastes the best from a freshly opened bag. The simplest way for me to make coffee is using a French press, and this hand grinder holds enough beans for 2 cups, so I fill it up halfway for 1 cup of coffee. Bring the water to a boil. I usually do this in the microwave, and then let the water rest for a few seconds. I steep the coffee grounds in the hot water for about 1 to 2 minutes. I always take it black for the most flavor, and I still consider this to be fasting, so this allows me to delay eating food for another 2 to 3 hours. The Explorer 36 is a must-have in my collection. I started with the 114270 back when they were only making the 39mm Explorer. But when they finally switched back to the 36, I got on the list, and it took me a very long time to get this from the AD. And when I finally got it, I was able to sell my older Explorer. This new Explorer has a better movement, a better bracelet, and a better clasp, but it does have a smaller profile on the wrist, but in no way is it too small for my wrist. It's lightweight on my wrist, but it still feels solid because of those solid center links of the bracelet. And the dial is the most legible dial of my collection, along with the Rolex Submariner. Even with my poor vision, I can still easily see the time at a glance. And outside in direct sunlight, the steel and gold really shine, and the light just bounces off the surfaces. My clasp has gotten some scratch marks from desk diving, so I'm going to have to bring out the nail buffer to get rid of those scratches. The Explorer is the foundation of the perfect capsule collection of the Rolex 36mm. 36mm is a good size for a 6.5-inch wrist. It sits close to the wrist, it doesn't stand out, and it doesn't get in the way. And this Explorer can be worn in almost any condition. It's lightweight, all stainless steel. You don't have to worry about scratching it, and the dial is the most legible out of any of the Rolex line. And the flip lock clasp gives you that extra security that this watch is not going to be falling off your wrist. Going up from this, the Wimbledon Datejust 36 gives an extra complexity to the dial, adds a little bit of color, and adds that beautiful Jubilee bracelet. This Datejust is a little bit more formal than the Explorer. It can be worn with the suit, but it can also be worn in casual occasions. The rhodium color of the dial and the domed bezel keeps it toned down, but the Jubilee bracelet adds that extra flash of luxury. The Jubilee bracelet is comfortable to wear and easily conforms to the wrist. And I actually prefer this new oyster clasp instead of the hidden crown clasp. The oyster clasp gives it a little bit more body to the overall bracelet and balances out the head of the watch. And going up from the Datejust, the ultimate 36mm is the Rolex Day-Date. This one is in all yellow gold with a diamond dial. Both the gold fluted bezel and the diamonds on the dial give it about an equal amount of sparkle, and I think champagne just goes well with the Day-Date. And that case design is in that same classic familiar shape, similar to the Datejust. And this smooth, curvy case design has not strayed much from its original from the very start. And the President bracelet is super solid. I have those ceramic sleeves which prevent the gold from wearing down, which prevents the bracelet stretch. And I think the hidden crown clasp looks more at home on the Day-Date than it does on the Datejust. Let me know in the comments the top three 36mm models of Rolex. I'm thinking I could let go of the Wimbledon Datejust and just keep my white dial Datejust, which has a lot more sentimental feeling. And then I could have just those three as my only three 36mm watches.